Live from the West Coast, it's time for Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
Hey, yo.
For over 30 years, and still, your inside look into boxing and mixed martial arts.
You know what? As long as she fights at 135 pounds, I don't care if she's injecting a horse demon into her eyeballs.
Heard live around the world and brought to you by the World Boxing Organization. And now, live from the Ring Talk Studios in San Francisco, here's the host of the longest-running fight show in history, Pedro Fernandez.
Namaste, caballeros, bienvenidos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the multi-million-dollar Sports Byline Studios in San Francisco, California. Yes, the man was correct with that lofty introduction. My name is Pedro Fernandez, the often imitated but hardly duplicated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the radio airways, folks. Having defended that belt for better than 35 years. Today's show, we're going to focus on one thing, one person, the late Harold Lederman, my buddy. Before HBO cut the ties between me and Harold, it was good, man. We had a relationship that lasted about 25 years. And about 8 or 10 years ago, HBO said to Harold, you got to have permission to go on Pedro's show. So when I called Harold, asked him to go on the show, as I would every couple of weeks, he said to me, Pedro, you got to call this guy at HBO. You got to get permission from him. I never called the guy. I felt slighted, not by Harold, but by HBO. Of course, the HBO sponsorship, the firing of Larry Merchant, that all seemed to happen around the same time. Coincidence? Perhaps. Anyway, you're tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. We'll hear from Harold today. We'll hear from the Godfather, Larry Merchant. Larry Merchant will be in the house. And we'll hear from Johnny Signorello. Of course, big reviews last night. Man, what can I say? The kid from Philly, J-Rock, Julian Williams. Holy cow. Big upset winner over Jarrett Hurd. Hurd came in favored. Hurd was supposed to be the guy. It didn't happen. Of course, WBO champ Emmanuel Navarrete just steamrolled. He bum rushed again. A guy named Isaac Dogbo. Everybody thought Dogbo was the guy who was going to win this rematch after losing the first one. The first one was a fluke. That's what they were saying. You were wrong, man. Navarrete is the real deal. I keep trying to tell you this. I can spot talent. You are tuned to Ring Talk live on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, the Dan Patrick Channel, Channel 211, and many, many, many other internet platforms. Bottom line is, you're tuned to Ring Talk. Stay tuned. After the break, Johnny Sig and Larry Merchant on Sports Byline.
Girl, the clothes that you wear, the style of your hair, the way that you fare, under all conditions, you're mine all of the time. So wonderful, so marvelous, girl, you're everything to me.
Here comes the decision now. Let's listen.
Clarity in the world of professional boxing is spelled WBO. That's right, the World Boxing Organization is boxing's only transparent sanctioned body. You can follow the WBO on Facebook or check out their website, WBOboxing.com. That's WBOboxing.com. The World Boxing Organization.
We have a new heavyweight champion in the world.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Mighty Horns of the Tower of Power bringing us back from the break. You are tuned to Ring Talk live on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, and like 1,000 other platforms. Bottom line is, we're going to take it to Las Vegas right away and bring in our man and talk about Mr. John Signorella. Johnny, big upset last night. Jared Hurd was supposed to beat Julian Williams.
Yes, he was, and according to Vegas, big time. And Julian Williams fought a masterful fight last night. All the credit in the world to Mr. Hurd. He took an enormous amount of punishment in that fight. And Julian Williams, man, with a fresh set of downs, now at the 154 division and carrying some belts at the same time, is now in game to really consider in some big fights. Or do we get a rematch right away? Hurd was pretty banged up in that fight. As we know, he went down in the second round and fought a full 12 rounds after he got dropped. So we see what's in store next. But Mr. Julian Williams last night, very impressive on Fox in Virginia.
What do you think of Mr. Hurd being forced to take VADA testing? And, it looks like his body was a little bit different here. Did you notice that?
Well, yeah, he's big. He's big for that weight class. That's always been documented. And maybe he's killing himself to get down to 154 to move to 160, but he is a big boy there.
Yeah, fighting at 160, we know the difference when you jump up in weight, man. It's like uncharted waters, man, and you can't swim just yet until you find out. Bottom line is, how did Mr. Navarrete look against Dogbo?
Oh, fantastic again. And 5 months removed from the beatdown he put on Dogbo in December, right? He does it again, and he does it in a different way. First of all, he gets the big stoppage in the 12th. And you know what? Dogbo's dad should be arrested for child abuse. Why do you let that fight go so far into the 12th round, man? That's terrible. More on that later. But Manny Navarrete beat him a different way, and now he saw going backwards and outboxed Dogbo. Dogbo was trying to charge him. Dogbo was coming in like a dog. And then next thing you know, he's getting drilled and outboxed by Navarrete, who usually is a forward-moving fighter, meaning he's going to track you down, get you against the ropes, pin you to the corner, and pound on you, etc. But he beat him in a very, very big way last night. I'd like to see him against Danny Roman next.
Fantastic. WBA 122-pound champion Manny Navarrete continuing to live up to the rankings. Now, who stole the show this weekend? There was also some, who stole the show this weekend in your mind?
Well, Navarrete looked fantastic. This was a great weekend overall. Julian Williams, who we just mentioned, was fantastic. But also, Miguel Burchell in a main event on the same card that Navarrete was on in Arizona on ESPN, knocked out until it stopped Francisco Vargas in their rematch at super featherweight. And I tell you what, man, that was a barn burner. So we had another would-be type fight of the year. The only difference is with the Vargas fight compared to Hurd and Williams, which was competitive. The Vargas fight after about the 4th round with Burchell, not competitive. Burchell, young, throwing a lot of punches, now 36-1 with 32 KOs. Definitely a guy to watch in the super featherweight division.
I'm getting a lot of texts and emails of late regarding the Charlo brothers and Flintstone vitamins. Why are people throwing shade at these guys? Is there a reason for it?
They avoided testing on their last fight publicly, avoided and refused to take testing for doping. So, yeah, there's a lot of shade there, with 100%. I agree with everyone that's texting you that. Yes, 100.
Oh, well, incredibly. Of course, coming up June the 1st on DAZN, Anthony Joshua. DAZN got how many viewers? 1.5 or 2.5?
They got, I saw 1.2, but I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled 1.5, which is great for the network. They really needed that push for their app. And, they're following up in a good way. Obviously, they wanted Big Baby Miller to be in there, but he got popped for doping. We get Andy Ruiz. I think Andy's going to bring an entertaining firefight. I know you're proud of him right now.
Andy Ruiz until the day he dies. I'm going to fat shame that dude until the day he dies, okay? He's just a 165-pound, 139-pounder fighting at 139 pounds. That's just the way it is. And I take offense at that. I just do. Guys that don't make weight, guys that don't have to make weight, guys that don't get themselves in the best condition in the entire world that they can, well, guess what? I poo-poo on them. I don't like that.
He's trying to get that Snickers endorsement, man. You know what I'm saying? Man's got to eat, right?
Good enough. Johnny Sig will be back in the close, folks, for the show. This will be an abbreviated show, a 1-hour edition today of Ring Talk Live Worldwide. We'll go to a replay in hour number 2, but hour number 1 is going to be all about Harold Lederman. In fact, let's shift gears right now. Johnny, we'll see you at the close, okay?
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
Good enough. Seeing Johnny at the close, talking next week boxing. Now, we shift gears, folks. Let's talk about the great Harold Lederman. Man, I love him. I really did. Of course, he passed away yesterday at the age of 79. He had a battle with cancer. And of course, then he lost, and nobody knew about it. Harold was just a private guy, and a guy that's another private guy, part of the HBO crew, who knows Harold pretty closely. I'm talking about Mr. Larry Merchant's on the line from Southern California. And first of all, Larry, my condolences.
Hang on, we're still working on Larry, Pedro.
Okay, good enough. We're working on Larry Merchant as I speak, because he was supposed to be ready to go as 11:15. Straight up, you are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide, your inside look at the world of boxing and MMA. Open phone lines around the planet, 1-800-878-7529. That's 1-800-878-7529. Of course, there's also the guilt-free, no-commitment text line, 415-275-1613. That's 415-275-1613. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live, the Sunday edition on Sports Byline. Of course, we come to you every Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Saturday for an hour, Sunday for 2 hours. Both shows are carried on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, of course, Channel 211, the Dan Patrick Channel. And no, Dan, I won't talk about the partying you did in the 90s at those big fights. No, he didn't really party, but man, those guys that were hanging around him were just party animals, no doubt about that. You are tuned to the mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Tell you what, let's take an early break right now. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide, coming to you from the Sports Byline Studios in San Francisco, California. almost 19 minutes past the hour. The Sunday edition is 2 hours, of course, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Straight up, you are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Little Tower of Power. This time it's real to the break.
Saw me a girl today who walked with such a gentle sway, and I knew right from the start she was the one who could calm my heart. I know someday.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Attention business owners. Now is the perfect time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. We can give you packages with up to 90 great channels and save your business a ton of cash. And if you call right now, you can learn how to get free equipment and free installation. Now you have choices. It's time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. And call today and get 90 channels plus free equipment and free installation. Smart business owners like you all across the country are consolidating and saving money on their cable TV, internet, and phone service for their business. So now's the perfect time. This may be a limited time offer to the first 100 people that call right now. So please save money and call now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
You know, it's my theory that if Don King was born rich and white, he'd be Donald Trump. And if Donald Trump was born poor and black, he'd be Don King.
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. I want to get into it, man, you know. Like a sex machine, man. Moving, doing it, you know. Can I count it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Get up, get on up.
From the Godfather of Soul to the retired HBO Godfather Larry Merchant in Southern California. Larry, a very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you on this Mother's Day.
Yeah, I don't look at it as Mother's Day right now. I'm sort of in a little bit of a little sad. I didn't know that Harold was sick. Harold Lederman passed away, the HBO boxing judge, of course, the iconic figure in boxing for about 40 years, 50 years. Turned pro in 1967. I'll never forget that. He told me the greatest fight he ever did was that he judged, not being on television, was the Lupe Pintor-Wilfredo Gomez fight back in 1982 on the Tommy Hearns-Wilfredo Benitez undercard. But he passed away at the age of 79, and you were his partner for a long, long time. You got to spend a lot of good times with Harold, Larry.
Yeah, and of course, I was about to say, but also a sad day when you so rudely interrupted me. Yeah, look, Harold was inimitable and original in our old game. His passion knew no bounds and was unstoppable. When we went to the arena before fights to get ready for our broadcast, Harold had already been there for hours, shaking hands with everybody in the arena and talking to all the officials and just absolutely loving it in his element. Maybe, one of the thoughts I've had is, as most boxing people know, but not everyone knows, Harold's day job was as a
drug dealer.
So he was into retail on a one-to-one basis with people. I can just imagine Harold singing out behind the counter as he was putting together various concoctions and so on for people. He was a terrific addition to our team and a really good judge of fights.
I used to introduce him as the biggest drug dealer in boxing, the biggest provider of drugs in boxing. And then, of course, I would explain that he's a pharmacist and that. But, Harold, and you talked about him being such a good guy. In Sacramento one time, after I think it was a Tony Lopez fight, can't remember what it was, but it was after a fight at the Arco Arena. We were in the parking lot, and the limo was there. And the limo was going to take Harold back to the hotel, the Radisson Hotel. Well, the limo driver kept looking at his watch because Harold kept signing autographs and talking to people and looking at his watch on there. So the limo driver was getting uncomfortable. So finally, I said to Harold, you know what, Harold? This guy wants to take you right now. How about I take you later and you can sign an autograph? He goes, all right. So he signed autographs for another half hour. The limousine left, And he was there for I'm telling you, it must have been an hour and 15, 20 minutes, just him signing autographs and taking pictures with people. He didn't finish until everybody got what they wanted.
It's just like Harold. I've never heard a bad word about Harold. That's true.
That's
from fans or fighters or anyone.
That's true. Although Hector Martinez Duran's former manager, when I said to him yesterday that Harold had passed, he goes, "No, I really didn't like his opinions all that much." I said, "Really?" Anyway, but so there were some anti-Harold people in the house, but Harold was an institution. He was a great guy. And of course, he leaves behind his lovely wife, and his daughter, Julie Lederman, was a very capable judge. I mean, sometimes when you get apples that fall off the tree, they can't do what the main tree did. In other words, they aren't as good as their father or anything. Julie Lederman is quite capable, but Harold Lederman was a class act. Never be another Harold.
Well, there might be some truth to that, because he comes from back in the day when boxing was still a powerful force in popular culture. And he was an ambassador from that era to the current one. And I do want to give some credit to Ross Greenberg, who's the executive producer at HBO, for having the smarts to create a position for him as our unofficial scorer, and made that seat an important part of television boxing.
No doubt about that. Harold Lederman, of course, passing away at the age of 79. Larry, did you happen to catch any of the boxing last night on ESPN?
Only in hindsight and on the internet and so on and so forth. I heard there was a really good fight. I was surprised to see Hurd lose, but he'll probably have a rematch with the Philadelphia kid, Julian Williams.
Yeah.
And so it goes. But the real big news in sports, in boxing, is that Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Keith Thurman in July.
Yeah. And you know what? Based on their last fights now, I don't give the old man, I wouldn't say he would be a prohibitive underdog here. This is going to be a close fight based on their last appearances.
Well, if Thurman is the Thurman we've seen at his best, and he has every reason to try to be at his best, even though for one reason or another he hasn't fought very often in the last few years, then Pacquiao would be a decided underdog, and I'd be surprised to see him make a serious fight out of it. But he is Pacquiao, and he keeps reminding us of the old boxing philosophy that a great fighter always has one great fight left in him.
Okay, but I agree. But Thurman fought Josito Lopez last time out. Josito is a very faded and shop-worn journeyman, so I didn't put much stock in that. And Lopez had riled him a couple of times. So based on their last fights, and the fact that Keith Thurman spent 2 years smoking weed in the woods, playing a flute for some snakes. I'm serious. He didn't have the snakes, but he went to the woods and he smoked weed and played the flute. So I just don't know if a guy like that's going to be focused enough for this left-handed little guy coming at you, punching you from all these different angles.
Well, your characterization of him, has the ring of truth, certainly. But if anything could get his attention, it would be the opportunity that this presents for him to set up something that's really major with one of the elite welterweights out there.
Interesting. Talking Keith Thurman and of course, Manny Pacquiao going to go on July the 20th. It'll be on pay-per-view. Are we looking at the end of pay-per-view with the apps coming into play, Godfather? Do you think pay-per-view's history soon?
That's a little above my pay grade, Pedro. But maybe so. I mean, if you can you could have bought the fight last week, Canelo and Jacobs, for a $20 payment for a month of DAZN. And at the same time, at the end of that month, they're going to have the heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua, fighting. And for a year, $100. Whereas that fight would have cost you $70 or $75 before. So, yes, if that experiment is successful, then it could be the downfall of pay-per-view. But in my experience, what generally happens in these occasions is that even if those platforms become dominant, that opportunities present themselves for massive paydays that some fighters or athletes will seize upon, so that it won't disappear, pay-per-view, but it won't be the venue for all of the big fights.
Godfather, I've been covering this sport for a few decades, you a couple more than that. Every time squares have tried to get into the boxing business, they've been singed. They've been burned. Their eyebrows have been burnt off their faces. I can name a few, but I don't want to embarrass them. But the bottom line is, these people getting into boxing now, DAZN, they're squares. What's going to make them any different?
Why are they squares? They're involved with real boxing promoters.
Okay.
I don't know the business numbers, but I can tell you something that I have discovered since we last spoke. Mm-hmm. There was an hour delay, or 45 minutes before the main event could have gone on last week, because the preliminary fight ended in 3 rounds. And there were so many people buying the fight late that the fight was continually postponed in 10-minute increments for an hour. So
that's amazing.
Yes. And so that if you can get fights that create a last-minute rush like that, and there have been some along the way in pay-per-view also. That's why many of those fights start so late. But they may be onto something, and they put their money up, and I don't think they're squares. Maybe the oligarchs who put up over $1 billion are squares, but they've got some real pros trying to run the place, and we'll see if they run a true run.
I think what I mean by that is non-boxing people entering boxing. I think that's what I should have said. Non-boxing people entering boxing have not had such a great track record.
Well, I think that's a fair comment. But in this case, they're putting their money up with professional promoters, the Brits, the Hearns, and so forth. They're in business with De La Hoya's company here in America, and they just had their best outing, and they paid a lot of money to get Canelo into the fold, but they also have the heavyweight champion of the world. They have Golovkin, so they have a chance to really grow in this early stage, and then we'll see if they can sustain it.
Interesting. We're talking about DAZN, folks. Score is the app for boxing. June the 1st, the heavyweight champion of the world. Talk about Anthony Joshua, 2012 Olympic gold medalist. The king at heavyweight, no doubt about that, from across the pond. Defending in Madison Square Garden against Andy Ruiz, who I fat shame time and time again, but that's just the way it is. Godfather, you're going to have a good week, and say hello to the godmother for me. I thank you so much for your time each week, man. I feel blessed just to have spent a few minutes with you, sir. I really do.
Thank you, Pedro, and you have a great week, too.
The great Larry Merchant, folks, on Sports Byline. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Somebody else passed away this week. In fact, passed away a couple of days ago. Former heavyweight title challenger Bert Cooper. Man, have I got some Bert Cooper stories to tell you. That, and we'll hear from Harold Lederman after the break. You are tuned to the mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Check this. I can fit in a phone call if you like on the toll-free phone line. 1-800-878-7529. That's 1-800-878-7529. Or the studio text line. Text us here in the studio. 415-275-1613. The studio text line once again, 415-275-1613. You're tuned to Ring Talk Live on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Channel 211.
Baby, 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 I got that feeling, baby. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down.
Guys, you manscape, right? You know, tidy up below the belt, trim the Yeti. Every guy knows the tree stands taller when the shrubs are trimmed, and 9 out of 10 women said that they prefer their men manscaped. But you gotta use the right tools for the jewels, or you look like you clear-cut the forest with a machete. And nicks and cuts are the last thing the twins down south need. Pop over to my buds at manscaped.com and check out their Perfect Package 2.0 featuring the lawnmower, which is the perfect tool for below-the-waist grooming. And it's rechargeable and waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. Manscaped invented skin-safe technology that won't nick or snag Mars or Uranus, which hurts like the dickens when Jupiter ascends. Order your Perfect Package 2.0 featuring all the right tools for the jewels and get 20% off plus free shipping and a free travel bag. Pop over to manscaped.com and enter promo code USA for 20% off plus free shipping and a free travel bag. Manscaped.com, promo code USA. That's manscaped.com, promo code USA.
Do you have a problem hearing the television? Do you need to crank up the volume so loud your family is screaming at you? Then put on your TV ears. TV Ears has helped millions of people just like you hear TV loud and clear without cranking up the volume. For about $60 with a 30-day free trial, you can get your own set of TV Ears. When you wear TV Ears, you can mute the TV volume for private listening or let others watch TV with you. Order in the next 10 minutes and take us up on our 30-day home trial and very special price. TV Ears is a brand hearing professionals have trusted for more than 20 years. And through this special radio offer, you can get your very own for just $60. Just mention promo code RADIO. So put on your TV ears and make everyone happy. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. That's 800-984-4207.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Harold Lederman, how'd you score the first 3 rounds? Okay, Jim, I want to tell you something. Jim, I got to tell you something. Jim. Jim, I got to tell you. Jim, I got to tell you something. When I say something, Jim, I tell you something. Jim, I tell you something. I got to tell you something. Jim, I got to tell you. Jim, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you, friends. You know, I got to tell you guys something. Jim, I got to tell you. Jim, I got to tell you something. Bob, I got to tell you. Bob, I got to tell you. Jim, I got to tell you something. Jim, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you. Jim, I got to tell you something. Jim, I got to tell you. Jim, I got to tell you. Jim, I got to tell you. Friend, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something. And I got to tell you something, Jim. Jim, I got to tell you something. Jim, I got to tell you. But I got to tell you, Jim.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Okay, so your heart broke.
He was so cute. He He was like a teddy bear. No, I'm not talking about Cuba Gooding Sr. singing the song. I'm talking about Harold Lederman. He just was. He was the greatest goodwill ambassador the sport of boxing could ever have. Nobody, as I said to you, he spent an hour and 15 minutes signing autographs with people in Sacramento. I got to drive him back to the Radisson Hotel. That was so cool. Those were great times with Harold Lederman, no doubt about that. Now, Harold has talked in the past about the one time he was asked to take a bribe. Now, let's take it back, folks. We're going back in time to 1970s. Harold Lederman's going over to Korea, and this is the way it went down.
Well, it happened to me once in my life, Dante. I was in Korea, and the president of the WBA, it was a WBA fight, and the president of the WBA, Dr. Elias Cordova, one of the smartest people I ever met in my life, says to me, Harold, well, he said to all the judges, he says, they're going to try to bribe you. And sure as the devil, the promoter came in and he put a whole sack of money on the table. And, I knew it was going to happen. I was ready for it. So I said to him, Mr. Kim, I said, I'm your friend. I said, I'll do whatever I can for you, but take your money. I don't need the money. And that was the end of it. He gathered up all his money, and he knew I wasn't interested in taking a bribe, and that was the end of it. It's the only time it ever happened to me.
Have you ever...
It's scary, though, you know?
Yeah, that is scary. I mean, have you ever heard other judges talk about being approached, and have you ever suspected that maybe they actually took the bribe?
Well, as I was saying before, the only fight that really looked suspicious to me was a number of years back when Tyrone Everett was fighting for the junior lightweight title in Philadelphia at the Spectrum. Tyrone Everett was Russell Peltzer's fighter against Alfredo Escalera. And I don't know. I scored it 10 rounds to 5 for Everett, and Escalera won a decision. And, I walked away scratching my head, and everybody was saying the same thing. It looked so strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, Harold, with you listening to Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman call the fight with your headsets, is that almost a little bit of a conflict of interest? I mean, does it influence you at all?
No. Not the least. You're there to judge, and you sit there and you concentrate 100% on what's going on in the ring. You don't listen to Jim talking about what one fighter's brother did or Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s father did or anything like that. You're concentrating on what's going on in the ring, and you're scoring a fight, and that's what you're there to do, and that's what you do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because you did tell me that the crowd, or you told him that the crowd, can be influential, and that's why I asked that question.
The judges are human. There's no doubt that there's a crowd influence in judging boxing. I mean, the crowd is screaming. If they're screaming for one guy, darn well it's going to influence the judges. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nothing you can do to cut that out. If you're fighting the guy's hometown, you got to expect it.
Harold Lederman, of course, the late Harold Lederman, passing away yesterday at the age of 79 in the New York State. I wish him and the family, I just can't put it into words. Harold was just a class act. He was one of the most unique human beings that I've ever met in my life. He got cranky, he got grumpy on a couple of occasions, but he never got surly with anybody. In other words, we'd be in cars and after long days and nights and this and that and on the road and places like that, he got a little cranky, especially in different time zones. But outside of that, Harold was a prince. He truly was. Now, we go from the prince of judging boxing, Mr. Harold Lederman, the HBO boxing judge, of course, the iconic figure, to Bert Cooper, former heavyweight title challenger. Get this, Smoking Bert Cooper fought for the heavyweight title. He almost knocked out Evander Holyfield. That's a long story. We'll get to that in just a second. But he died yesterday at the age of 53 years old. Smoking Bert Cooper, 38 wins, 25 KOs. Wow. 31 stops. He was stopped 16 times, though, so I guess his chin wasn't all that good. But the bottom line is, in 1993, I televised this fight with Mike Weaver over in Beijing, China. Of course, that was the Brawl at the Wall, the undercard of the Brawl at the Wall, the first time ever that boxing had been shown in the People's Republic of China ever on television. And and the first time since Mao Zedong had the communist takeover in 1949. So it was the first boxing card there. Muhammad Ali was in the audience. We were rocking and we were rolling. That was a great night, no doubt about that. But what I remember the day before the Bert Cooper fight, the day before Bert Cooper and Weaver fought, was that, I'm a former narc. That's not something I compliment. I'm brag about, but I did narcotics. I did robbery task force. I did a lot of plainclothes work for the SAPD. Also, San Francisco Police Department. I also cut TV commercials for them. So I was pretty hip to what crack smelled like when you smoke crack. It's got a distinct smell to it. So I'm walking through the halls of this hotel in China, and I smell crack. And I said to this guy that I was with, if I was on Sunnydale and Han in the San Francisco ghetto, I say to myself, it smells like crack. And the guy laughed at me. He goes, "Oh man, come on, be serious. Nobody's smoking crack over in China. Yeah, it's your cop mentality." Well, it turns out that Smoking Bert Cooper, that's what they call him, smoking, he was smoking crack, as was his late manager and promoter, Rick Parker. Rick Parker was shot to death by a boxer by the name of Tim Doc Anderson. Of course, that happened about 15 years ago. But Rick Parker said to me the night after the fights, we had the fights taking place in this big hall in Beijing. And after the fights, I was kicking it with some fine United Airlines flight attendant by the name of Susan Hong. Anyway, she was a Chinese national. So we're kicking and we're having a good time. And Parker comes over to my table and says, "Pedro." So what's going on? He goes, "Let's go party." I said, "What do you got in mind, man?" He goes, "I got some blow." And I went, "Huh?" He goes, "I got some blow." Blow is cocaine, for you those who don't know. Okay. I said, "Blow? You got to be kidding me." He goes, "No, I got some blow." I said, "So?" I go, "I don't do cocaine." And then I thought about it. So we went over there. I read some of the laws about China, the death penalty for cocaine. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to get killed just sitting at the table with this fool, okay? So I grab Susan, fine-ass Susan, grab her by the hand, and I rip her out of this club, and we get in a taxi cab, and I'm driving around Beijing freaking out. I don't know. I mean, I'm just freaking out because, if he's this loose with cocaine and crack and that kind of stuff in China, and I was associated with him, that's the last thing I need. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be detained by the Chinese police. You saw what they did to that Malaysian guy that guy over in Malaysia when he did the graffiti, where they beat him with a stick until his butt bled. I mean, this is not a place you want to get punished. Anyway, Bert Cooper, Rick Parker, both dead now. Parker passing a few years ago via a gunshot wound, as I said. And he deserved to die. I know that really sounds terrible for me to say that, okay? But if ever there was a piece of human garbage in the boxing world, and that came into the boxing world, a piece of trash, and left worse, it was Rick Parker. It just was. I mean, here was a guy that made zillions. He was the guy that developed that super green cleaner about 25, 30 years ago. Remember, like you poured it on anything and it cleaned stuff up and it was organic, it was generic and all that kind of good stuff. Well, he was the one that created that. He had a part in the original putting that together. So he made a lot of money and he was throwing money all over the place. I remember when he had Mark Gastineau. Remember I talked about Mark Gastineau. Mark Gastineau may be in the NFL Hall of Fame. I think he is. But he was the star defensive lineman for the New York Jets, known as the Sack Exchange. He did a lot of cocaine, a lot of chicks, that kind of stuff back in the 80s. So in the 90s, when I was televising boxing, I had a couple cards with Mark Gastineau. And the one card I had with Gastineau up there in Reno, Nevada, I couldn't get his attention. I even stepped on his foot. I stepped on his foot. Can you imagine that? You're doing an interview with somebody and you can't get their attention, so you step on their foot to try to get their attention, and then he looks over at me. I don't know if he was scared to death to fight or what it was, but most of his fights were fixed. I mean, that's what Rick Parker did. As I said, Rick Parker being a scumbag, listen, for me to call Rick Parker a scumbag would be knocking scumbags. I'm sorry, scumbags, but that's how low Rick Parker was. He just was. So when he died, there was no love lost here. I said to myself, the world's a better place. With the exception of his family, I don't know if you know they liked him because he was just a scurrilous guy. He just really was. Anyway, enough of that. Bert Cooper challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship in 1991. Mills Lane was a referee. Mills Lane saved Evander Holyfield in the World Heavyweight Championship tonight. I mean, he just did it without a doubt. I mean, because Bert Cooper had Holyfield going. The fight could have been stopped. Nobody would have said anything. But they didn't want the establishment, in my mind, didn't want a crackhead being the heavyweight champion of the world. And that's what he was. I mean, that's just what he was. He was a crackhead. I'm talking about Bert Cooper. Hey, he tell it like it was. He passed away. God bless him. God bless his family. But, didn't bring a whole lot to the boxing game. And not as far as honor and reputation was concerned. But he did fight Mike Weaver in 1993 over there in Beijing. Lost a 10-round decision. Pretty somewhat boring fight. I remember calling that fight for television. Pretty boring fight. Of course, myself, who was the TV team? Arnie, Togi, Rosenthal, and the guy from FNN Sports, I can't think of his name right now, but the three of us did that, man. That was a fantastic night, no doubt about that. Not the greatest fights in the world, but here was an atmosphere. We're in Beijing, China. They've never had boxing before. We've brought Muhammad Ali along. I mean, we're the real deal, man. We got Ali with us, okay? I mean, he's like the most recognized figure in the world at that point in time. No doubt about that. So we've got Ali. There are people standing outside the arena, hundreds, thousands of people standing outside the arena hoping to get a glimpse of Muhammad Ali going into the arena. I kid you not. They couldn't get a ticket. They couldn't afford a ticket. Or the tickets were sold out, so they were standing outside the arena trying to get in. Well, I think they had to take Ali in through a side door. That's what they had. I think we had to sneak him and Alani in through a side door. Because I kept saying, "Where's Ali? Where's Ali?" And they say, "They're trying to get him. They're trying to get him." What do you mean they're trying to get him? What's going on? Well, they couldn't get Ali through the crowds at the front, so they brought him around the back to the side door. Of course, him and his wife, Alani Ali. How blessed I am, folks. I mean, here I sit, talking smack every once in a while. You say to myself, yeah, Pedro talks a lot of smack, but I got to spend some time with some wonderful people. I really did. I mean, the time I got to spend with Muhammad Ali in 1993, when I bought him that Big Mac and those quarter pounders with cheese and all that kind of, I think I bought him like 3 different McDonald's sandwiches. He was dying. He was starving. I mean, we were all hungry, man. We were hungry as hell. And that's just the way it went down. Anyway, of course, I went and got him the hamburger. The next year, he and Harold Smith chose me to be his bodyguard. And, of course, his aide through a trip through China. So that was a wonderful event, no doubt about that. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than the time I got to spend with Muhammad Ali. It doesn't. I brag about this. I boast about it because you know what, folks? He truly was the greatest. I mean, there are people that you walk into in life, and there are a lot of people you've met. I've met heads of state. I've shaken hands with presidents. I've got to tap some of the minds of the world's smartest people, okay? And yet none of them brought to the dance and did more in the short time I was with him than Muhammad Ali. And I'll leave you with this as we go to a break here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I'll leave you with this. He said to me, I was crying after we went to a hospital one time because all these kids were crippled. I had a child at home that was like 4 years old. So I'm crying in the back of the bus after seeing all these crippled kids. And he comes to the back of the bus and he says to me, "Son, why are you crying?" I said, "Oh, man, that was tough, man. I got a baby at home. That was tough, man." He goes, "Listen, we gave them some money. They're going to have food for the whole year. Everybody's happy." He goes, "We made them happy." He goes, "You need to be happy." And then before he gets up and walks away, he says, and puts his hand on my shoulder, says, "You can't save every puppy in the pound, son." The great Muhammad Ali. You are tuned to Ring Talk, live, baby, on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
Sitting here in this chair, waiting on you, oh baby, to see things my way. But not a word do you say, you're leaving my way.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the Tax Helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So, if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. That's 800-932-1749.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Check it. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. You're inside looking at the world of boxing and MMA 35 plus years. Now let's take it back to Las Vegas and bring in our ace, Johnny Signorella. May 17th, of course, big time boxing returns to ESPN, ESPN Plus, Ryan Burnett and Gilbert Gomera. I never heard of him, but Billy Joe Sanders on the 18th, ESPN Plus. Tell me about this. The apps are hot and happening next week, huh, Johnny?
Oh, man, May 18th, too. We got Wilder versus Brazil in a heavyweight scrap that's got a lot of bad blood in it. Wilder telling Brazil, don't bring your kids to this one. I want to put you in a body bag. Whoa, that's fire right there. But, yes, the app...
but time out. He's using that WWE approach because nobody knows this. Everybody knows this is a 100-to-1 fight, right? And that's he's trying to generate interest, correct?
Absolutely. But we also, going back to the app that you were referring to, we have Manny Rodriguez versus Naoya Inoue on the zone, man. That's a fight down at the bantamweight ranks. Manuel Rodriguez, 19-0, 12 KOs. Naoya Inoue, 17-0, 15 KOs. This one's got another banger written all over it.
Okay, Showtime. Is Showtime having any in their cards on the calendar besides this one next week?
They announced a couple things, but nothing that's really gaining my interest, man. It's like they're fading. Right now, I know they're paying Wilder a lot of money because DAZN had offered Wilder a lot of money to go towards him. So Showtime, to keep him, because they need that heavyweight championship, they had to offer him a lot of money. So Showtime looking kind of thin right now.
Interesting. Johnny, so it was a fantastic weekend of boxing. Gotta mention this. We didn't get to mention the UFC, but the UFC strawweight championship changed hands in the female ranks when Jessica Andrade, some monstrous from Brazil, tore apart Rose Namajunas. Anyway, bottom line is, Johnny, you have a good weekend. Say hello to the old lady and the kid. We'll talk soon.
I will. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, especially my mom, Joanne. I love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
I knew he was going to say that. He's such a good son, isn't he? You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. My name is Pedro Fernandez. Happy Mother's Day, 2019.
USA Radio News with Rick Vincent.
As trade negotiations between the U.S. and China continue, a 2020 presidential hopeful is speaking out about how it's being handled. Appearing on CBS's Face the Nation, Colorado Democratic Senator Michael Bennett said President Trump's China strategy has cost the country quite a bit.
Look, Donald Trump has shown himself to be the most fiscally irresponsible president we have had in generations. Here's a guy who's managed to rack up a $2 trillion deficit at a moment of full employment in the country.
There's a strong